I stood before my chair, scraped the floor. The sound tore through the room like a blade dragged across glass. My daughter's fingers tightened around the paper snowflake she'd made for Grandma, the thin white points crumpling in her small fist. My son fixed his eyes on the carpet, jaw clenched, doing everything he could not to cry. The Christmas tree lights hummed softly, steady and indifferent, casting warm reflections that didn't belong to the moment. The silence wasn't empty. It was a held breath, stretched to the breaking point. I pulled out my phone. My hands were steady. That surprised me more than anything else. "Say it again," I said softly. The room froze. No one moved. My mother's smile collapsed, sliding into a thin, offended line, like she'd been wronged instead of exposed. My father stared at his plate as if the mashed potatoes might absolve him if he didn't look up. And my sister tilted her head, smirking, enjoying the tension she'd poured into the room like poison. I wasn't shaking. I wasn't shouting. I felt something colder, sharper, focused, like a scope tightening. The phone screen glowed between us, a small red dot blinking, recording. I didn't look at them. I looked at my kids. I gave them a nod I'd practiced in mirrors late at night. The kind that says you're safe. Stay still. Watch closely. It's okay. Watch. They watch. The thing about betrayals is they don't start loud. They don't announce themselves with slammed doors or raised voices. They start polite. They start reasonable. They start with small cuts you excuse because admitting blood would mean admitting pain. For years, my parents had praised me as the reliable one, the fixer, the lender of last resort, the one who always handled it. I paid bills quietly, covered gaps without questions, smoothed disasters my sister left behind with her grin and empty promises. Family helps family, my mother used to say, eyes calculating even as her voice stayed sweet. I believed her. That was my first mistake. That night felt staged from the moment we arrived. The gifts stacked neatly under the tree, none with my kids' names. The way my father avoided my gaze. The way my sister had already poured herself a second drink before dinner was served. I'd noticed the signs weeks earlier, the shortened calls, the sudden rules, the whispering that stopped when I entered rooms. I'd felt the shift the way animals sense storms before the sky changes. I didn't confront. I listened. I waited. Betrayal reveals itself in patterns. Missing deposits. Delayed transfers. A signature that looks right until you know how it should feel. I found the first discrepancy in October. A trust account I managed for my parents, because I was good with numbers, had been altered. A minor change, cleverly buried. My sister's name added as co-signer. No one told me. They didn't think they had to. I documented everything. Screenshots, statements, emails forwarded to a private archive no one else knew existed. I let them believe I was still the agreeable one. I attended dinners, smiled, paid. Silence is camouflage. Patience is leverage. Back in the living room, my sister laughed lightly, like this was all a misunderstanding I'd soon apologize for. "Relax," she said. "It's just Christmas. Kids won't remember." My son's lip trembled. He was 7. He remembered everything. I pressed my thumb to the screen. "I'm sending this to my attorney," I said. "And the bank. And the board." The words landed heavy. Confusing. Dangerous. My father finally looked up. "What are you doing?" he asked, his voice smaller than I'd ever heard it. I met his eyes for the first time all night. "Finishing this." I tapped once. The call connected. Speaker on. "Hi," I said calmly. "Execute the contingency." My mother stood abruptly, chair legs screeching. "Turn that off," she snapped. I didn't. On the other end, my attorney's voice came through clean, efficient, already moving. Understood. Accounts would be frozen. Authority reverted. Transfers reversed. The room cracked open. My sister's smirk vanished. She reached for her phone. No signal. I'd anticipated that too. I knew their habits, their shortcuts, their belief that I was careful but not clever. Greed makes people predictable. The contingency was simple. If any change occurred without my consent, control returned to me immediately. No appeal. They'd signed it years ago. Trusted me. Forgotten. My mother's voice shook. You wouldn't, she said. I leaned forward slightly. I already did. The recording light blinked on my screen. I turned it toward them. And now, I said evenly, I have proof of emotional abuse toward minors. Merry Christmas. Silence swallowed the room whole. My kids stared at me like I'd pulled something impossible from my coat. I met their eyes again. This time, I smiled. Not sharp. Not angry. Steady. My sister lunged, rage finally spilling out of her. You think you're better than us? I didn't move. No, I said. I'm prepared. The fallout was immediate. Calls, threats, tears, promises wrapped in desperation they thought I still needed. I didn't answer any of it. I walked my kids to the car. The cold air tasted clean and real. I buckled them in one by one, my hands finally shaking now that it was over. My daughter whispered, Are we in trouble? I kissed her forehead. No, I said. We're free. That night, I confessed everything to myself. The guilt I'd carried that was never mine. The silence I'd mistaken for peace. The strength I'd hidden because it made other people uncomfortable. Revenge wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. It was precise, documented, timed. Was justice wearing patience like armor? They lost. Access. Leverage. The narrative. I gained something better. Respect. Safety. Spine my children will recognize in themselves. Someday, I don't raise my voice anymore. I don't explain myself twice. When people ask what happened, I tell the truth. They showed me who they were. I believed them. Then I move on. And every Christmas since, I watch my kids open gifts chosen with care, not obligation. Their laughter fills the room where cruelty once sat. I keep my phone charged not for threats, for records.